again to another episode of Doctor's Orders. I'm Dr. Matt. This is the doctor's office, Seattle, Washington. Again, featuring some of the bottles from our world-class selection of spirits. A little bit of a special episode today. Why? There's 3 bottles, not just one. And I'm drinking out of a tiny little glass, not our typical tasting glass. We'll see why in a second. I've got 3 scotches here. These are Glen 5 years from 1970, 1974, and 1979. So of course we're going to talk about Scotland, right? We're talking about Japan and my trip to Japan, my first trip to Japan. I love these whiskeys. These are super fun. Each one's different to the next. The 1974 one, because shout out Sounders, born in 74, signed by their very own Will Bruin. Thanks, Will. And the label just fell off of the 1979 one right before this, so we'll glue that back on at some point. But why am I going to talk about Japan? Well, I'm going to sip this and then you'll figure out why. That is really fun. The first time I went to Japan, oh, surprise, no tasting notes. The first time I went to Japan, I was there for a couple of weeks, and I, as many people do, started in Tokyo, ended in Tokyo. And on my way out of Tokyo, I had stopped at a bar, and I heard some people talking about this other bar that they said, oh, this place was great, you really got to go there, called Mash Tun. Bar Mash Tun. I was like, all right, well, it sounds really fantastic. I will try to go there on my last night, on my way out. And I'm so glad that I did. Suzuki-san is, if you've ever met this guy, he is not only so friendly, so just hospitable and generous, but knowledgeable. Amazing whiskey selection. But yeah, just an all-around thoroughly enjoyable person that I've gotten to know a little bit over the last few years since I met him that night. And went there on that last night, and I had drank on this trip a murderer's row of whiskeys. And so I get there, and I'm drinking amazing things. I get to the end of the night, I'm thinking, all right, I have room for one more. And fortunately, in Japan, you can get half-ounce pours of things. So you can try a lot more in a given night than, if you're just ordering full shots of things. And that's something we do here, which is why we've got these little glasses. If you want to do half-ounce pour of something, you can do that. You can line up a whole tasting flight and not be totally trashed at the end of the night and have tried a bunch of different things. So I get there. Like I said, drinking amazing things. He's teaching me stuff. We're having a great conversation. At the end, I said, all right, I drink one last thing. What's the oldest bottle that you have right now? He said, oh, well, that's the 1953 Strathala. And I said, all right, I think we should probably try that. He says, okay. I do prefer the 1954, though. And I said, wait, you prefer the 1954 Strathala to the 1953? Do you have the 1954 Strathala? And he said, yeah, of course. So, well, then I think I need to do a half-ounce of each. And that way I could have my own opinion. Super obscure opinion to have. Do I prefer a 1953 Strathala to the 54 or vice versa? What a ridiculous thing to be able to have an opinion on, but how fun. That, all right, yeah, the list of people who have tried both of those, pretty short. Okay. You don't have to be snooty about the opinion, but can actually have one. Yeah, that's fun. So I did. I tried them both. Sure enough, surprising no one at all ever, Suzuki-san was right. Well, as right as someone can be about a subjective thing, right? I also preferred the 54. But now, that's a conversation that he and I could have. Oh, I prefer this about the 1954 to the 1953 Strathala. What a delightful, ridiculous proposition. And so I said, you know what? We're going to be able to do something similar here. And we've got a few different ways that you can have those types of obscure opinions. But one of my favorites is to be able to line up a 1970, a 1974, and a 1979 Glen 5 year. they each taste different one to the next. And you can have an opinion as to which you prefer of Glen Grant 5 years from the 70s. I'll tell you my personal taste. I like the 79 the best. The one without the label right now. But you get to have your own opinion. Maybe you prefer the 74. Maybe you like the 70. Maybe you're with me, you like the 79. Maybe you like them all the same. But this week, come on in. If you do a tasting flight of all three of them, we'll throw the whole thing 15% off. So you can try any one of them, we'll throw them 15% off. Yeah, that's fine. But I encourage you to do that. Try all three. Have an opinion. And as someone once said, whether you like it or you don't, you're right. So it doesn't matter which you choose. But what a fun thing to be able to do, to line those up. And come by sometime. We'll set it up for you.